Hello YouTube, Shadow Prince Gamer here. I decided to do a video today discussing my top 10 horror PS2 games. I love the horror genre, and when the PS2 came out, they had so many horror games on there that, wow, I played most of all of them. And I want to discuss with you today my top 10 horror PS2 games that I played growing up. So let's start with number one that I have right here. Okay, so my number one horror game would be Cold Fear. Now this game, oh man, I had such a good time playing this where you're on this abandoned ship, you have zombies, but then you got to also fight with the elements from when it be raining constantly in this game. Now if you ever have a chance to play this game, this is Cold Fear on the PS2. Very awesome game. Like I tell you, this was peak horror right here. So if you have a chance, Cold Fear, try this game out. So my next number two horror game on the PS2 was a game that, I really enjoyed it a lot too. It was in a high school setting. So, and this game was called Obscure. Now, this is a kind of hard game to find, and it cost a lot of money too. So it's not cheap. But like I tell you, if you ever have a chance to play this game, it's very good. And it's two players at the same time. So if you have a friend that can play with you in it, this game can be played cooperatively with two players. This is Obscure. But also, eventually later, they did have a sequel game, which wasn't really all that good, which was this game right here, Obscure: The Aftermath. The first game was better. The second game, not too good, but it's still worth a playthrough if you want to play both of the games in the title, though. But yeah, I can definitely recommend Obscure right here if you do have a chance and if you do have the funds to want to play this game. It's worth the play if you have a chance. Okay, so my number three game, this game had a TV series. I've never seen the show, but I did play the game because, it was a horror game. So this next game would be Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Now, oh man, now this game has action, magic, vampire, horror. This is the game that I can recommend. Like I tell you, I've never seen the TV show, but after playing this game, it made me want to watch the TV show, which I still haven't had a chance to fully watch it. I'll maybe watch season 1 or so. But this game, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, is a game that I can definitely recommend that if anyone who loves horror games on PS2 should definitely try this one out. So my next game will be coming up next. Okay, so my number four game. So this game has a funny story. I had never heard this game, didn't even know the game was out. So around the time, a long time ago, I don't know if you guys remember Game Crazy when there used to be a thing with Hollywood Video. One day I went to a Game Crazy, just browsing around for games, and then I found this very interesting horror game, which I wasn't going to put this game on this list because I'm thinking this game was on everybody's horror game list. But I enjoyed this game, and this game right here is Hunting Ground. This game is a little pricey. The game can go up to $400 and up. I've seen this game go for. But this is Hunting Ground, made by Capcom. You could say it's kind of a successor to Clock Tower 3, which that was another game that I also loved playing. I was going to showcase that in this video, but I decided to go with Hunting Ground instead. If you ever have a chance to play Hunting Ground or get the game, I would very recommend playing this one. This is definitely a must play. If you're looking for peak horror, this game is a must play. And you got your little trusty dog, which was him. I enjoyed him in this game. I think the dog's name was Huey, if I remember. This dog, depending on how you treat him, will determine how he acts in the game. If you treat him nicely, he'll help you, fight with you, and defend you. But if you kind of do bad things to Huey, he won't listen to you, and he'll probably just let yourself get killed by the demons that are chasing you. But yes, Hunting Ground on the PS2. Like I tell you, definitely a must play if you want to shell out the money that this game costs. Okay, so here's my number 5 game. This game is called The Thing. So I had saw The Thing, the movie, like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 months ago, but I've also had this game like, a long time. So I've actually played this game before I even seen the Thing movie or even knew anything about it. And like when I tell you this game, now this is a very, very, very scary game, and you never know if your friends or your allies, if they may be like possessed by the Thing. So it depends on how you treat them, if they might turn against you. So this game is like psychological horror. Um, and you have to do things to make it where your allies trust you. But if you start doing if you start to do like crazy things, the allies will think less of you and won't trust you, and then they'll actually turn on you to kill you. But this is the Thing on PS2. Very awesome game. If you've seen the movie, you know how great that movie was too. I enjoyed it. So yeah, here's the Thing on PS2. So my next game is Siren on the PS2. This game is like a very Japanese type game. I haven't beat this game officially yet, but I played it a lot, and what I did play, I enjoyed it so much. And like I tell you, this game, like, if you like Japanese horror, then this is where it's at. It's almost not too similar to like the Fatal Frame games, but it's in like that same Japanese horror, and it's a very awesome game. Like if you ever have a chance, Siren. I wanted to get Siren 2, but that game was only in Japan, and they did have it released in English for PAL. So I haven't got the game yet, but I'm gonna try to search for it, eventually get it, so that way I can end up playing the sequel that way after I beat the original, which I haven't beat this game yet. But from what I did play of it, it was a very awesome game. Okay, so my next horror game that I want to discuss is a early PS2 horror game that came out. So the graphics may look a little dated, but hey, the gameplay and the vibe and the setting of the game makes up for the outdated gameplay. So this next thing I want to talk about is called Extermination. Now, if you like stuff like Aliens, then this game is right up your alley, because they got so many grotesque creatures. In the game, you get a flamethrower, like from Aliens, so you feel like you're like Ellen Ripley. Now this game is very awesome, and this is a game I would recommend if you haven't played it, if you can get through the outdated graphics. But like I tell you, the graphics don't make up everything, but the gameplay definitely makes up this game as a great horror experience. So this is Extermination on the PS2. So this next game, this wouldn't be a horror list without adding this game to the list. And come on now, I can't go wrong with Silent Hill 2. Very awesome game. The game was so awesome that even now in 2025, they had the Silent Hill 2 remake, which I enjoyed this game as well. So when I knew that they was making this game, I had to buy it, like, no doubt. But yes, Silent Hill 2. There's so much stuff I can say about this game, that this game is a hidden gem in the system, that everyone who likes horror has to play this game. If they haven't already played it, or even if you don't play the PlayStation 2 version, get the PS5 remake. That one's just as awesome, but Silent Hill 2 on the PS2, this is top tier horror right here. Top tier horror. Okay, so for the final game of the video, this was a horror game that I actually found by accident, and it's a Japanese only game. But like I tell you, you really don't need to learn how to read Japanese to play this game, because the action of the game itself, even though it is a very story-driven game, the action and everything that you do in the game is like self-explanatory. And this game is called Vampire Panic. So these are the three main characters, and you're in this town, and everyone is getting possessed by vampires, but you, using one of these three characters, can save the town and prevent them from turning to vampires by defeating the evil spirits that's in the town, or saving the villagers, doing things that will help protect them. So that's why, but then again, if you don't happen to save any villagers, they're changed to a vampire and basically try to kill you. So yes, this game, like I tell you, I will recommend it, but it might not be for everyone. But if anyone have a chance to play Vampire Panic on the PS2, this is a very, very obscure PS2 horror game that, hey, I tell you, it deserves a play if you ever have a chance, and if you love vampires and horror. You can't go wrong with this. So that's it, everyone. That was my top 10 horror PS2 games that I think everyone who loves horror games at PS2 should take the chance to enjoy and play them through. You know, like I said, the PS2 has so many horror games that, you know, I had so much more. I didn't want to make this video so long. But hey, if you guys like this video, give me a like, give me a sub. What's your favorite horror game? Leave a message in the comments. And, you know, I reply to everyone. And like I said, if you guys like this video, I'll possibly do another horror video. Because I have a whole lot of PS2 games that I can discuss about horror. So if you like the video, hey, like I say, leave me a like, comment what your favorite horror game is. Shadow Prince Gamer is out. So that's it, everyone. That was my top 10 horror PS2 games that I think everyone who loves horror games at PS2 should take the chance to enjoy and play them through. You know, like I said, the PS2 has so many horror games that, you know, I had so much more. I didn't want to make this video so long. But hey, if you guys like this video, give me a like, give me a sub. What's your favorite horror game? Leave a message in the comments. And, you know, I reply to everyone. And like I said, if you guys like this video, I'll possibly do another horror video. Because I have a whole lot of PS2 games that I can discuss about horror. So if you like the video, hey, like I say, leave me a like, comment what your favorite horror game is. Shadow Prince Gamer is out.